NBC 10 Breaking News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lena Tillett. Breaking now on NBC 10. Philadelphia police are giving an update on Alhassane Barry, the off-duty officer who was shot and killed over the weekend. Let's listen in.
Shot, and it remains in the hospital. So just to give you a little background, as you already know, yesterday, we now know at about 3:30 a.m., there was an incident that occurred in the 7200 block of Elmwood. The incident, through our investigation, began inside an establishment there on the 7200 block. While inside, both the shooter in this case and the two victims, our off-duty officer and the 35-year-old, were inside the establishment. We recovered evidence that showed that they had words. We don't know what those words were. They were quick words that we see on video. That prompts it to go outside rather quickly. All three males go outside, where at some point the words continued and then it became physical. At some point there's an assault, and then a separation, and then shots are fired by the one individual, our doer in this case, towards both individuals. The 35-year-old was hit and goes down out of the scene of the camera, and then the other male is shot multiple times as that person flees the area. We're going to release some photos today. There's about 3 or 4 photos. You have some pretty good face shots that we were able to freeze in the video. Looks like the individual's wearing like a COVID-type surgical mask, but at some time he pulls it down and it has it around his chin. So we're asking the public that if anybody knows who this individual is, anybody could tell us. We're urging them to call our tip line, 686-TIPS or 8477, or call the homicide unit, 215-686-3334 or 3335, and give us the information so we could follow it up. Like I said, Officer Barry was pronounced around 7:44 a.m. at Presbyterian, and the other individual who was interviewed today, I believe, is upgraded to stable condition. It's important that we get this information so we could follow it up quickly and move forward to try to get this person off the street.
Do you know the relationship to Officer Barry and the 35-year-old? They know each other?
I don't. I'm not going to identify the non-fatal shooting victim, even if I did. So it appeared they were together as far as I could turn. Their relationship, their relation, I'm going to leave out of it for now.
And the individual who is wearing what appears to be a black shirt, after the shots are fired, while Officer Barry is on the ground in that video, you see a man walk back up to the scene. He leans down. Is that the shooter? And do you know what he picked up?
Cell phone. Looks like a cell phone to us, and he left with his own, probably his own. He dropped it, picked it up, and walked away with it. That's what we believe.
Weapon he had based on that video? It looked like a.
Well, there's 8 9mm casings there, so it's a 9mm of some kind.
Yeah, is there any type of metal detectors inside of that club?
That I couldn't answer. The club investigation end of this is still being worked on, so I'm not involved in that. This is the homicide investigation, but that's being looked at. What they're doing there, their legality of the club, and that'll be brought up at a later time. We're kind of putting that off to the side a little bit. We need the answers on this case right now. We need to solve this case.
When you said separation after the argument, who was separating who?
Oh, you really can't tell. They go outside. There's a physical altercation, and then the shooter backs up and then fires at both parties.
So the altercation was between the 3 men?
Yes.
Regarding to this case and others happening across the city, residents are given new and better strategies in public safety. What you can say to them?
Well, I bet for public safety. Well,
yeah, people is talking about new strategies and better because shootings are happening across the city.
Well, technology is a big part of this. We have a lot of video in this case. We knew it would take some time till we've seen it all. We may not have seen it all yet. So if you have some video, we're urging you to send us that video. You may have video from 3 blocks away from here, but it may be relevant to the time frame, and maybe it's this individual passing by either before or after the shooting. So technology is a big part of it. So, and it helps us in public safety investigations. So we're urging you, if you have anything from that night or that early morning, to send it to us so we can evaluate it.
Do you know if the suspect left or how he left the vehicle on foot?
As far as I know, what I seen, he left on foot, but that could mean he had a car parked around the corner. I have no idea.
On the Chew Avenue job, have you received any additional tips since your last news conference?
I'm not here with the Chew. I know you received a news conference last week from Inspector Evers. There's constantly being developments. I'm not prepared to go forward with that. We have a lot to unpack on that job still. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but there is a ton of forensics. There's a lot of video evidence and digital evidence that are still being reviewed. As soon as we have a further update, I'll make sure you get that.
In 2024, have you received any tips?
That, I don't know. I have no idea. Our tips, just so you know, the number I just gave out, go into our DIVIC. If they're relevant to something, they're farmed out to that division to investigate. So if there was a tip, I could check, but I have no idea. If there was a past tip, I could look into that and search their database. The DIVIC documents it, but they'll send it out, whether it was a narcotics tip or some type of tip. Just so you know, I mean, I'm not going to talk about that job right now, but narcotics had served the warrant and been inside that house previous to this incident. That wasn't the first time we were there. It didn't look like it looked when we went in. It was different. So I don't know. I don't know what the tip was. Maybe it generated that investigation. I don't know.